Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick little update on some health stuff because I've been to 2 different doctor appointments since my last health video and I've gotten some answers, so I wanted to share them with you guys because I think this is probably going to be the last health update for a while. I feel like I've gotten all the answers, kind of, which I'll explain, and there's really nowhere else to go from here at this moment. So we're just gonna update you guys and then that'll be that. So I'm not gonna explain everything from the last video because that last video is pretty long in explaining everything, but if you guys go check that out really quick, then we could talk about what's going on now. So with my heart palpitations, that was one of the main things I talked about, and I've been having them every single day for months now, since like the beginning of March. And some days they're worse than others, some times in the day they're worse than others. And I went to the cardiologist and we were gonna wear a heart monitor. So I wore a heart monitor for, it was about a little over a week. I was supposed to wear it for 2 weeks, but Lord knows it is hot here in South Carolina and that thing melted off, basically. It's like sweat off. So as long as they got the palpitations on the monitor, it really didn't matter how many days I wore it. I think a lot of people that wear those monitors, they don't have heart palpitations every single day, so that's why they tell you to wear it for 2 weeks or try to. Honestly, what I wanted to happen was for, this is gonna sound weird, but I know that I'm having heart palpitations. We can't catch them. They've listened to me with a stethoscope. They've done the EKGs like probably 6 times now. Nothing shows up. And so I was really worried that me wearing the heart monitor, nothing would show up. And honestly, when I remember wearing the heart monitor and the heart palpitations were not happening as frequent, and they were very like small. Like sometimes they're like huge ones, like it like almost jolts me, and other times they're like really faint and you have to like really try to feel one. And I remember them being like really small, faint, and not as many times as some other times that I've had them. So I remember being kind of upset about that, especially when it fell off. But basically what you do is you wear the heart monitor, and when you feel a palpitation, then you press the button. And so when they print out the whole thing, when you turn it in, they can see where I pressed it and then like look a few seconds before, a few seconds after for whatever is going on. So anyways, what I wanted to happen was for them to definitely see the heart palpitations. So you're probably wondering like, oh, you want to have them? But yes, I wanted them to see them because I know that I have them and I want to figure out what it is. But I wanted them to tell me obviously that they were nothing, like they're just regular old heart palpitations, nothing to be worried about. Because I've done a lot of research and there are some heart palpitations that aren't very, they're just like a normal heart palpitations. So that was what I wanted. When we had to be quarantined for the coronavirus for 2 weeks, again, link in the description, we had to do that whole nightmare of a thing with coronavirus. I had to cancel my appointment and they weren't going to be able to see me for an entire month. And so I kept calling, asking for the results of the heart monitor, and they also wanted to do an echo. So I was willing to wait for the echo, but I really did not want to wait for the results for the monitor because I've already been having these things since March. I'm really nervous about them. I don't want anything bad to happen. They're not going away. And I wanted them to look at the results and then like tell me over the phone. But one nurse told me they couldn't tell me over the phone, which I think that's pretty much like protocol for all places. And then another nurse said that they could. So I kept calling back, calling back. Finally, I was like, okay, if you guys can't tell me these results over the phone, can you try to get me in a little bit earlier? And they actually ended up having a cancellation, so I got in earlier. So that's a whole nother thing, because I wasn't even supposed to know till the end of August about all this information. So I went in, and sure enough, there were the heart palpitations. As many times as they were happening on there, again, they weren't happening very much, but he said that they were rare for me, like rare instead of like frequent. So he wasn't worried about the amount of times that I was having them, so that was good. But they were definitely there, and they're called PVCs. So basically they're just pre-ventricular, I should know this. Let me see. premature ventricular contractions. So it's basically an extra beat, which is exactly how it felt. Because everyone's like, what does it feel like? Is it like murmur? Is it like a pounding? And it does just feel like doo-doo, like a boo-doo, like a double beat. So he says that the PVCs, they're not harmful. A lot of people actually have them and just don't feel them. So they're very common and it's nothing to worry about. So it was exactly what I wanted to hear. They were definitely there. I told him, I was like, well, I'm glad that they were here. He's like, oh, they're definitely here. And I have a little piece of paper that shows them. Maybe I'll go get it for you guys to see. But every single time I pressed the button, there they were. Same thing every single time. So they were definitely there. And then he said, they're not gonna cause me to have like heart failure, heart disease, heart attack, nothing with those. And because I also read that sometimes palpitations can cause your heart to weaken a little bit. And he says they don't do that either. So that's good. So basically what it is my heart has this regular beat, doot, 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 doot. And then it does doot, 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 and then kind of pauses for a sec, and then doot, doot, doot. So doot, 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 doot. And then it just depends on how many times a day they go. I don't know. Okay, so I'm coming on here later to show you my chart thing. So you can see here, like here's a good one. So it's beating like normal, and then there's 2 fast beats and then like a pause before it starts again, and then that's where I press the button. So I felt it and then I pressed the button. So anywhere where there's a circle is where I pressed. But they're all the same. So heart beat, 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 and then beat, beat, and then pause. There's one right there. There's a good one right there. Right, da-da, and then pause. Same with here, pause. So you guys get the idea. Do-do, and then pause. So anyways, I wanted to share that. That's that. The only thing that we don't know is what's causing them. And at this point, there's no like test to do to figure out what it is. It's basically trial and error to try to figure it out. Hormones can cause it, stress can cause it, caffeine can cause it, all those things can cause it. So, and then the only other thing I can do is he gave me a medication to take, but basically the medication is only, he said it's kind of like an ibuprofen when you have a headache. It's not gonna cure the headache. It kind of just like puts a band-aid on it. So if they're really bothering me one day and it's making me not be able to like function during the day because I'm worried or whatever, then I can take this medication. But honestly, I probably won't take it because now that I know that they're not gonna cause me to have like a heart attack or anything like that, I can honestly ignore them and they're not gonna like ruin my day or anything like that. So I probably won't take this medication that they gave me, but I do have it just in case. I'm a stressful person. Like I feel like on a scale from 1 to 10, my stress level is probably a 7 almost every single day, just because of just my lifestyle. But I also feel like that's just my personality. Like I stress really easily. So anything that's like, oh, that's caused by stress, try not to stress too much. Believe me, people, I try not to stress. I really do. I really try not to stress. But at the same time, that's just what I'm like. So there's really no helping that. But I also went to the gynecologist and talked to her as well, because I went off birth control in March. Again, this is all in the other video. I hope this is not all over the place. I feel like this is all over the place because I'm not explaining everything. So if you're watching this, just watch the other video. Went off the birth control in March, and lots of symptoms came back from what I had before I was on the birth control. And one of those was heart palpitations. So I was honestly thinking that it had to do with hormones, the heart palpitations. So I was thinking about going back on the birth control to see if they would go away. But I was also waiting for my gynecologist appointment that I went to today to see like what she thought. because honestly, I don't want to be, again, I don't really like taking medication. I don't want to be on birth control. I don't need to be on birth control. So it's something that I'd rather not do. But if it's going to help other symptoms, then I would do it. So I went to that appointment today and I brought up the heart palpitations, and she kind of rolled her eyes and basically told me that the hormones cannot cause heart palpitations. So I was a little confused. One, because my cardiologist said that it would, and I'm finding that different doctors kind of, what am I trying to say? They push other doctors' opinions or what they have to say aside. Like, I'll go to my general practice, like my family practice doctor, and she'll be like, oh, the cardiologist will probably say this, but no, it's not that. Or the cardiologist will say the gynecologist is going to say something, and not to think like, no, she's probably going to tell you that, but that's not true. And then same now with the gynecologist, she's like, cardiologists are quick to say that it's hormones, but it's not. I'm like, well, why would they just say that? So her explanation was that if you have PMS, any PMS symptoms at all, one of them can be anxiety right before your period. So you can get really anxious or stressed or high strung or whatever right before your period, and that's a PMS symptom. And she says that can cause the heart palpitations. Anxiety, stress, whatever can cause heart palpitations. So she said that's the only way that you could say hormones would cause it. So anyways, that's where we are now. My kids are arguing. I don't know if I should go out there. What? Okay, so anyways, that's where we are now. I have answers about what kind of palpitations I'm having, and that I'm definitely having them. We don't know what's causing them, but at this point, I'm just gonna live with them for now. Try to live a stress-free life as much as I can, and maybe go back on the birth control. Haven't decided about that yet. And not just because of the palpitations. There's other things going on that I probably need to go back on it. So I just wanted to update you guys, because a lot, when I posted the other health video, I had so many people coming over to Instagram and telling me about all of their different symptoms and all the different things that they had as well with the heart palpitations or any of the hormone stuff. And I honestly really appreciate that, and you guys are so sweet. And so there was a lot of questions, there was a lot of speculations, and I promised you guys I would come on here after my cardiologist appointment, after I got my heart monitor and everything. So I'm very glad that it's just the minimal thing. It's just small little extra beat in my heart. I'm not sure exactly why it's happening, but I'm just thankful that it's not anything crazy or anything that needs further information or further testing or anything like that. So yeah, getting old is interesting. There's a lot of things that are changing and a lot of things that are happening. So I guess that's just how it goes, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So anyways, that's where we are. If anything else changes, if anything else comes of this, I definitely will always keep you guys updated. I honestly was going to just put this in a vlog, but here I am. I've probably talked for like 20 minutes now. So anyways, I said it was going to be quick, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye guys.